Today we prove it's not the size of the patch that matters, but how you use it. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So the patch is currently out, it is currently live, it is currently rocking and rolling. And with this patch we have just a small amount of changes. 2 nerfs and 3 buffs, but they are kind of impactful. So let's talk about the big nerf that everybody's going to be talking about today. Iron Patriot got changed from a 2-3 to a 2-3, which sounds exactly the same, but now instead of him removing 4 when he got the win, he now will remove 3 if he gets the win. This means that you will no longer get a free drop if the drop was going to be the 4 cost. This means that no matter what, you have to pay at least 1 to get the card off of Iron Patriot. Honestly, I saw this coming. Iron Patriot's been kind of running rampant across all of Marvel Snap for a little bit. It's kind of the best 2-drop that exists, bar none. And taking this off of him was actually a smaller nerf than I was kind of wanting for him. There was a part of me that was thinking that it would actually get -2 cost instead of -3 cost. So it actually went less impactful than I thought it would be. So it's kind of interesting that Marvel Snap is having this whole idea, this whole pattern of making a season pass card and then about a month or 2 after it is done, then changing it. It almost makes me wonder if come next month around this time we're going to see a change to Sam Wilson, and the month after that we're going to see a change to Agamotto, because there's a couple things for Agamotto I could see them changing, mostly the wins, but it is kind of just amazing that they keep making these changes every time the patch card has gotten out of the spotlights for a bit and can no longer be bought, so you can't decide at that point. But Iron Patriot was running a little bit rampant, and if it keeps running rampant, I can see it going down to -2 for the cost, so the cost reduction is -2 instead of -3, and maybe getting +1 power at the point, going up to like a 2-4 at that point, so it's easier to win, but the winning gets you a little bit less. Alright, the other nerf that we had happen was Galactica. Galactica went from a 4-6 to a 4-5. This is mostly having to do with the Agamotto and the images of Icon. What you would basically do if you had the images of Icon on turn 1 and turn 2, you'd basically play anything, and then, turn 2, turn 3, I should say. You play pretty much any card, and then on turn 4 you play the Galactica, and then turn 5 you get the images of Icon, you change them all into Galactica. That basically means that Galactica was an 18-point win that you really couldn't do anything about because it wasn't Shang-Chi-able. But what made it kind of interesting is the next card you played on 6 was going to get +9 because you had 3 Galacticas out. So it pretty much won the lane she was in, and it pretty much almost guaranteed you the win on another lane. I'm not sure how taking 3 points off of that is really going to help, because that brings it down to 15 instead of 18, but it might be enough. I'm really not sure if Galactica can stay at this +3 power. she's one of the only cards that is still around that gives +3 power. And honestly, I'm not sure, because making her 4/4, it makes her unplayable to a certain degree. So the next step that I could see if Galacta still be an issue is her going back up to a 4/6, but her power going down to +2 instead of +3. The images of Icon that's causing an issue for right now. Now on to the buffs. First buff that we're going to talk about is Sauron. Sauron went from a 3/4 down to a 2/2. This is the buff that everybody's wanted for Sauron. This is where Sauron's needed to be since probably day 1, maybe day 2. This just makes it so that a lot of your stuff works with Sauron. It allows you to play it with the new Star brand that's come out. And just in general, allows you more flex slots for it being the tech card that Sauron was supposed to be. I wouldn't be shocked and maybe surprised if somewhere down the line, Sauron even goes to a 2/3 just to give it that hope of fighting against stuff like Iron Patriot. And if this becomes a 2/3, there's a possibility it could fight stuff like Iron Patriot in certain decks. Well, for a slot, I mean. So this is the where Sauron needed to be a long time ago. Next change that we had is Pixie went from a 2/1 to a 2/2. This changes absolutely positively nothing. You were never playing Pixie for her power spike alone. You're playing her because it mixed up the deck. If you wanted her to see more play, there's two things you could have done for her. Either bring her down to a 1/1 so she's got that extra turn to see play, or B, change her on reveal to what it would be at this point if she came out right now. Where she would just shuffle every single card in your deck, whether it was created or not created, it just would. It'd be kind of interesting to see that happen, especially with now some of the stuff that exists, like the spells. And also, you really need to make it so the shuffling is more known about how it would shuffle. If I've got a 0, a 0, a 6, and a 6 left in my deck, and I play Pixie, the 0s should become 6s, the 6s should become 0s. Now, sometimes you can't make that happen, but I think everything should just try to change as much as possible. Because when you're playing a 0, a 0, a 6, and a 6, and you play down the Pixie, and your 0 stays as a 0, and your 6 stays as a 6, you sit there and go, you are a useless card for a 2-drop. Last card that we got changed around this time was Ghost Rider, I should say. Ghost Rider went from a 4/4 to a 4/5. This is just good in general. It's a power spike that kinda needed to exist. It helps out the fact that last patch, this card got hit hard. Now it kind of makes it so that the Ghost Rider can be an interesting option for either the Conchu deck or for just the regular first Ghost Rider deck. So if you play first Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider on the same turn, then Ghost Rider will bring back whatever card the first Ghost Rider got rid of. It will be 10 points there plus whatever you discarded. So if that is something like an Iron Man, that means that the 20 points happen there. And that's a pretty good little 2 cards turn 6 out of nowhere by combo. Because you get 10 just from those two if they're on the same lane. I think it's generally good for Ghost Rider. I think it'll see a little bit more play, but not much. But that's all the changes that we had in this one. Not big, but stuff that needed to happen. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.